Pakistan's Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir has been given unprecedented, near absolute power and authority and immunity from prosecution for life. Pakistan's President Asif Ali Zardari today signed the 27th constitutional amendment, which gives Munir power over not just the three armed forces but also over nuclear command and grants him lifelong immunity from prosecution. But what triggered alarm across Islamabad is the bill's second punch. It clips the wings of Pakistan's Supreme Court, raising fears that Pakistan's fragile, almost dead democracy is now sliding into full military dictatorship. Tonight, Pakistan's constitution has been rewritten. Field Marshal Asim Munir is the most powerful man in the country's history. Many in Pakistan argue even more powerful than Field Marshal Ayub Khan, Ziaul Haq and Parvez Musharraf. I want to quickly bring in Dr. Tara Kartha joining us on this special broadcast. Dr. Kartha, your reading of the 27th constitutional amendment, what it means for Pakistan, and with this radical Islamist general, what it would mean for India.
This amendment, Gaurav, is extremely shrewd. He's given a little bit of toffees to the political leadership. He's clipped the wings of the judiciary so that they can't question it. And he's given a little bit to the army and to the navy and the air force, made them marshals. They're also going to be marshals, so they also get something. But in the end, who's the boss? It's Munir. And the extent to which the judiciary has been crippled is astonishing. They can shift judges around, and if the judge refuses, he stands retired. I mean, this is it's almost, I don't know what is. I've never seen anything like this. Even in some of our most rudest countries elsewhere,
Yes.
You don't do something like this. And the final thing, to my mind, which is the most dangerous and which is, I think, is going to create trouble.
Okay.
He is also head of the CDF,
Yes.
Chief of Defense, not staff,
But
Chief
forces.
of Defense Forces. Okay, which he in turn appoints the Strategic Forces Commander through, of course, the advice of the Prime Minister. And considering that this whole bill passed in 264 to 4 against
Yes.
in Parliament, that just shows you what the Parliament is like.
Anyway, the Prime Minister in Pakistan is known as boot polish, but Sandeep, what would this mean for India?
Well, Gaurav, you've hit the nail on the head. It's what concerns India that we should be really worried about. And we've seen in the tenure of the previous dictator, General Parvez Musharraf, who began this war of trying to bleed India through 1,000 cuts. It was 2 months after he took over that the first attacks outside Jammu and Kashmir started, with that attack at the Red Fort, Lashkar-e-Taiba. They killed 2 army soldiers in December 2000. And since then, he is, under his General Musharraf's tenure, you've seen 2 sensational attacks on Mumbai, 2006, the train bombings, of course, the 26/11 attacks, which were planned during his tenure but executed after he had demitted office. This is what we should really worry about, and this is where Field Marshal Munir seems to be headed, with the terror cell being uncovered in Delhi. And of course, we've seen in Pahalgam what happened.
Yes.
Field Marshal Munir seems to be reaching for General Parvez Musharraf's playbook, which is to spread terror attacks through India's hinterland. And
So,
what he forgets,
Dr. Tara Kartha, this would actually mean that under Musharraf, we had Kargil, we had Parliament attack, we had Akshardham temple attack, we had 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks immediately after, but Mumbai 2006 attacks, Ahmedabad attack, some through Indian Mujahideen and some directly. Are we to prepare for rapid escalation in terror, not just from the west, but also perhaps from the east, often using Indian Mujahideen or Indian terrorists?
I think it's a lot more serious than that, Gaurav, because this man faced some limitations during Sindoor. I mean, that's what we've understood. Some of the things he wanted to do was limited by the other forces. Generally, the Navy and the Air Force are a little more cautious. This guy now has no limitations. He's also got a separate conventional rocket force, which was created recently, also now under his command. If there is another God forbid, if there is another battle, this, I don't know what he'll do. Right?
Okay.
And this module, by the way, this module, from day one, I've told you, this man who did this Red Fort attack,
Yes.
it was not a suicide bomb at that point of time. He was planning something else.
And he was
This
planning something
module
perhaps
was-
bigger.
Yes,
Sadly, I've run out
yes.
of time on this part of the show, but this is a story we'll be tracking very, very closely. I want to thank you, Dr. Tara Kartha and Sandeep, for joining me on this part of India First. But let them know that when they tried a terror attack in Pahalgam, it was followed not just by Murid Ke and Bahawalpur being targeted, 9 terror bases. India was successful in punching holes through the air defense system and bombing 11 of their airfields. If 11 of the airfields can be damaged, all 18 and more can be damaged, hopefully, and much, much more should Pakistan try anything stupid. But knowing Pakistan's limited IQ of their generals, and we've seen this over decades, tactically brilliant, strategically a disaster for a state sponsor of radical Islamist terror.